Good morning and welcome to Seattle. It has been 4 TIs since we have been here, but we are back in beautiful Seattle, and I am ready to see these 20 teams battle it out in their road to the international here. It's going to be a month-long affair, a lot of Dota to carry us over, so much to talk about, so many storylines, and I cannot wait. It will be one of the best that we've had for so long. I am going to be your host, Nat T, and joining me through this group stage to begin our road to the international is going to be Gods and Lizard. Lizard, I've seen you all year, right? I'm kind of done talking to you right now. I got to start with Gods. How have you been? You're here at Road to TI in Seattle yet again.
Yeah, it's honestly beautiful to be back in Seattle. It's, been some time. We've got the Climate Pledge Arena back, and this is, to me, kind of like a spiritual home for Dota, so it just feels only fitting that TI finally returns.
Yeah, there's been a lot of emotion, so much dramatic music, obviously a gorgeous theme as well so far that we've had for TI and the road to TI. But Lizard, what are you most excited about?
About Gods? What do you mean?
Okay, you're the same with me.
We unlocked Gods, like he's that one locked character in the compendium.
This is the face reveal.
Exactly, the face reveal. Look, it's always it's every player's dream to be here, so I'm happy to be a part of it. And it's in Seattle again, like I've never been here before.
Time?
I was walking down the road yesterday with Snare. We went past the Benaroya Hall?
Yeah.
A lot of history here.
Yeah, we get to see it all, get to experience it for ourselves. But if you guys aren't here and you do still want to stay up to date, then you can follow all of the social media for Dota 2 right there below us. You can read it, and no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, no matter what time zone you are in, you can get all of your information, all the updates there. But we got to talk about our group stages, everything that will be unfolding, because guys, we've got 4 teams from SA. We've only got 2 from China. Like, these regions are all mismatched. I would never think that we were here from what we saw last year at TI 11.
Oh, definitely. Like, things have been changing in Dota for a while now. A lot of these regions that have been considered weaker back in the day got a lot of coaches infiltrating those regions, building up the scene, and now you can see the results. Like, SA owning 4 teams here. China, on the other hand, not looking so tough at TI, but with only 2 teams. At the same time, those 2 teams could do a lot.
Yeah, and people used to talk about, the alternating years. That was between China and Europe. That applied when Seattle was the home of TI. So maybe now we're back in Seattle, it could continue.
You're right. Maybe that was the change-up. It was all location dependent, so we could potentially see the cream of the crop of that China region coming back. But you guys might be surprised that there's 4 groups. Maybe you're not up to date with how all of the road to international is going to be playing out. And so to make sure you get all that information, we have a little bit of a video explaining it.
This year, we are introducing the newly formatted group stage on the road to the international. In this new format, 20 teams are divided into 4 groups, with each team playing each other twice and the last place teams being eliminated at the end of the second day. Of the remaining 16 teams, the winner of each group chooses their next opponent from the 3rd or 4th place team in another group, whilst the remaining teams of those groups get matched together. With the matchups for days 3 and 4 decided, these best-of-3 series determine who begins in the upper or lower bracket at the playoff stage on the road to the international. Having now arrived at the playoffs, we begin our 16-team double elimination bracket to continue the road to the international. The 4 winners in the upper bracket will advance directly to the upper bracket of the international, whilst the losing teams battle it out in the lower bracket to claim the remaining 4 spots. With the 8 teams decided, the stage is set for a double elimination bracket, which will determine who will lift the Aegis and become the International 2023 champion.
This new format does put a lot on the line for group stages. The fact that it's 4 groups with 5 teams, we are going to be seeing 4 teams going home in 2 days' time. That's going to be their end to their road to the international, and that's putting a lot on how many games are going to be played today too.
Yeah, I think I really like this new format. I think it's great how you have these teams fight it up and then the kind of seeing matches afterwards. But definitely the big highlight is that one team eliminated from the groups. It kind of changes things up where you can't have that slow start. I look back at Team Spirit, who won the international a couple of years ago, and they started the group stage really poorly. They went 2 wins, 6 losses before winning their next 8 games. You can't really have that slow start. You got to come out guns blazing because otherwise you could get eliminated.
Yeah, and outside of being eliminated, it feels like coming first is where a lot of that importance and that priority is, Lizard, and kind of second, third, fourth is this. You don't really mind too much where you place it because it really comes down to first in that opposing group.
Yeah, I can see that because you're choosing your opponent, right? And then it might be a little bit easier for you to go through the rest of the bracket. At the same time, I look at these groups, like everyone is strong. Like maybe you have that one team that looks like they're going to go home in about 24, 30 hours. But if you get to choose between third and fourth, the choice is really difficult. Like you might be paralyzed by the choice actually. Like you're just looking at, do I play versus these guys or these that are even stronger?
That's come the meta for some teams. They're like, we're just going to let fate decide because if you know, I think it was one of the things Blitz said on Twitter. It's like if you care about who's in your group, you're not going to go far. It's kind of the same when picking your opponent. If you're a team who wants to win TI and is a real top contender, at some point you just can't care who you're facing.
Yeah, so many choices. In fact, some of our audience might be paralyzed for choice because we've got 5 streams going on. Each stream is going to be having 5 BO2s. So this is your schedule. Keep a close eye on what teams you want to be following. Here on Stream A, we will mostly be looking at Tundra and VP. Those teams will be playing 2 best of 2s here on this one each. But obviously we have other streams. Stream B, if you guys want to follow that one, if you're a Liquid fan, if you're an EG fan, then you can kind of just have your eyes glued to that one, Lizard.
Yeah, like on Stream B, Liquid dominating with 2 games, EG as well. It's going to be an interesting one. We're going to be sticking to Stream A, right? Like that's going to be ours. But some of these streams, like Stream C, this looks like completely my zone. Eastern Europe, you get Team Spirit.
You actually started a petition. You're like, can we rename this? Rename this one to Stream
exactly.
A?
Can we? This should be Stream E. Anyways,
EU.
Yeah. Eastern Europe.
Even that first match, Spirit versus 9 Pandas, is just so juicy. The inter-region rivalry is so good. Then you go to Group D. This is the one for the NA viewers. You've got NA represented heavily here with Nouns, TSM, Gaming Gladiators.
all the 100 viewers on this stream.
They're gonna absolutely love it. All their points to Stream E. That one's for all of our SA fans. Thunder Awakening, Kid Star is gonna be our main shining ones there. But there are teams that are gonna be flip-flopping around. So I feel like if you're a Bet Boom or a Quest fan, that one's gonna be a lot hard to keep track of. They're all over each stream there, but that's great for them because we're gonna be seeing a lot of them as well. A little bit of them here. But the team that we joked about being over on that other stream, I already forgot what team it was, so it doesn't matter. Instead, we're going to talk about our tournament schedule. We talked about the format, and format's all well and good, but if you guys don't know where they are going to be taking place, what dates it's going to be, it's every weekend. So we're obviously starting off here on the 12th, then it's going to be the playoffs. The road to the international is continuing on the 20th, but TI, the finals, the weekend that everyone's paying attention to, 27th to the 29th over there. And our first matchup, this is what I wanted to talk about. Tundra TSM, that's what we're going to be seeing. So we're going to be having our NA fans over here too. You know, everyone in the NA time zone for Seattle. Might be a little bit more than 100 viewers, Lizard.
It might be, at least for this match. Like Tundra and TSM, it's going to be an interesting one. Like TSM so far, internationally, they haven't really done a lot. But speaking of international, like that team is filled with like international players. They're not true. They are NA, but when you look at them, they even have a Brit. It's not going to be easy for them to play versus 8 Aegises.
Not many teams can say they have a Brit. That's often underrepresented region.
Is it the first British player on TI? It might be.
I think it might be actually. Yeah.
I feel he is. Yeah, Ari. Like, good job.
Yeah, TSM did go through that really big roster shuffle from when we saw them at TI11. Obviously, 3 of their roles changing. We got Kasana coming in for the offlane for them. Ari, you already talked about coming in too. And then they also picked up Whitemon themselves and Moon going to coach for them. So they've done great when it came to NA DPC, but internationally they've fallen that little bit short. Kind of 13th, 14th is where we've seen them mostly place.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting because they have stuck together. A lot of teams, once you get those kind of international results, because that's where you're going to value those results more than just playing within your region. But the fact they've stuck together means they think they can, figure something out. And I don't think they're going to be pushovers when it comes to, actually playing here in the road to the international, and then, hopefully at the international itself, because they've had kind of that past success. That TSM team with Moon has had good results when it comes to the big stage. So even though it's not been the best year for them, I would definitely not count them out by any means.
Yeah. I mean, they directly qualified, right? They had enough points. They were able to make it. They didn't have to go through those qualifiers at all. But we look at Tundra, and they've had a very weird year. They've had great results, but, with Suxa coming out, we've got 9 going down to pose 4, and then we're seeing Topson coming in and substituting for themselves. So they've had a lot of different substitutes throughout the year, some good results. They came 3rd in Bali with Aoi standing in as well. So now they've had more time to gel with Topson. Do you see a lot for this team? Could they be a slow starter as well, Gods?
They definitely could be. I feel like they're almost like this just wild card where it's like anything can happen, then they could just come out and dominate everyone, or it could be a little bit like, they're got to explore themselves, figure out how things are going to work, even though they've had Topson around them for a bit, being obviously scrimming and getting used to playing with him. It still could be a bit of an adjustment, but I think the nice thing going for them is that Topson at least I think has a kind of similar playstyle in some ways to what 9 did, so I think they're going to be able to at least adjust fairly quickly. It's probably a harder adjustment for 9 than it is for Topson,
and he might actually have some pressure, Topson that is, because right now you have this position 4 that's actually a mid player, used to be a mid player. What does a position 4 do? You just run around the map and you look at your mid laner and what he's doing when you need to help. So now Topson knows that 9 is watching him. There might be a little bit of pressure there as well.
I feel like Topson is the type that doesn't succumb to pressure. He's like,
he definitely doesn't. He's proven that so many times before, right? But now you're actually kicking someone away from his position, more or less, right? Like you're taking that position from 9, and 9 is an amazing mid laner. So it's going to be interesting to see the two of them actually work, because they are going to be working a lot together in that mid lane.
Yeah, I do want to talk more on the expectations as well. Do you feel that TSM might have that advantage because there isn't this expectation that other people are placing on them? They're like, hey, let's make it out of groups, like this is it. Like, we can show that we can go a little bit of the distance, whereas Tundra, they're trying to defend their title from last year.
Yeah. It always can be good to go a bit overlooked, but I think what teams have learned when it comes to TI is you got to prepare for everyone. You can't take anyone lightly. I think over the years there were times where people looked at certain teams or even regions. If you look at South America, where it's like, these teams are not going to compete on the same level as others. But then time and time again, you get proven wrong. Like, wait a second, we got to treat everyone seriously, no matter even if they were a qualifier team coming out of some underrepresented region. So I think that's going to be the approach to anyone playing against TSM as well. For Tundra, though, there is going to be a target on them because returning champions every year. Returning champions, it's just like, it's a big deal.
Yeah, and what, a week, 10 days ago, there was a new patch.
We haven't even talked about that yet.
It's kind of hard to prepare for every single team, but you have to. So you can't really let your guard down. You might go home in 30 hours if you make a mistake or two.
Do you feel like this patch is big enough that you could see a certain team being favored more towards it? Or what we saw in Dream League Season 21 leading into this is probably similar to playstyles?
From all the talk with coaches and players.
You've been doing the rounds while at the hotel.
Yeah, a little bit. And from my own pub experience, I feel like it's going to be very interesting. Like, we might see some heroes that you don't necessarily expect at certain roles.
I also, just having a bit of a chit chat too. TSM picking up another coach for themselves. Do you think this is going to be something extra for them? What do you think Moon might have been lacking when it came to coaching that could now be elevated by having a second coach for themselves?
I think often it's just about having more eyes, like just having a fresh perspective, especially when some of their international results haven't been quite what they would have hoped. So having a second coach.
Les escuchamos en algunas entrevistas del Major y demás hablar de cómo resolvían los problemas que tenían dentro de la partida, que habían hecho un montón de cambios, con lo cual eso siempre es más complicado. Y creo que es un equipo que puede dar sorpresas también. O sea, al final, el TI siempre es una competición donde lo que no te espera sucede. Y puede ser que este año, pues, Timado también consiga algo grande.
Y mucho más en fase de grupos.
Sí,
en fase de grupos está esta oportunidad de empatar las series, lo cual hace mucho más difícil para los equipos sacar puntos, ¿no? Si te roban un punto, pues obviamente te quedas un tanto más en la cuerda floja. Pero rescatando lo que dices, la verdad es que Timado en sus streams mencionaba mucho de ello. Le preguntaban sobre cómo están llevando el equipo, por qué están teniendo esos resultados. Él decía que abordaban error por error, uno a la vez, ¿no?
Sí.
No todo un compaginado, sino un error a la vez, y lo han ido trabajando. Y Ari en la Betbundacha confesó de igual manera que se están desapegando un montón de Moonbender, no dependen netamente de su coach. Ahora sí, cada uno está aportando una idea y eso hace que TSM tenga otro ritmo de juego.
Sí, a mí lo único que me preocupa realmente de este equipo a día de hoy es el hecho de los resultados históricos en las competiciones oficiales de Valve. El hecho de que el año pasado en el TI hayan quedado en la última posición y en los majors de esta temporada también de los últimos, incluso en el Valley no se consiguió clasificar.
Sí.
Entonces, espero que con esta renovación de roster pues pueda romper esa racha negativa de estos torneos. Espero bastante de ellos, sobre todo en la fase de grupos, que es lo que hablábamos. Con este modelo de ganar o empatar, bueno, y perder también, ¿no? Pero con esa posibilidad de empate se abren muchas puertas a estos equipos que a lo mejor no son favoritos en matchups 1 contra 1, pero que, dependiendo de los resultados del resto del grupo, pues pueden pasar cortes que nadie esperaba.
Sí, yo lo que veo es que es un equipo con mucho potencial. Es cierto lo que tú mencionas, Kratos, que quizá este año por resultados han tenido un poquito más de problemas, pero sí que recuerdo que a finales del año pasado llegaron por primera vez un peruano, ¿no? Llegaba a una final de un Major y quedaban en segunda posición. Sí. Entonces, yo creo que las herramientas, ¿no? Están ahí y falta quizá pues tener un poquito más de experiencia. Creo que Timado es muy joven, tiene 23 años, junto con White Moon, también 23, han cogido un poco el liderazgo de este equipo, y luego los otros 3 jugadores es que también van un poco 20, 22 años, son muy jóvenes, pero el potencial está ahí, así que veremos. Yo también estoy de acuerdo. Creo que vamos a tener muchísimos empates en esta fase de grupos, lo cual luego pues quizá tengamos esos tie breaks de desempate.
De hecho, yo diré que justamente en el enfrentamiento contra Tundra, normalmente en los partidos ABO3 suele perderlos, pero en los de fase de grupos les empata.
Sí.
O sea, quiero decir, TSM le suele sacar una partida siempre a Tundra, así que cuidado,
Sí.
que se puede complicar ese grupito, que también es que yo no sé, lo del grupo de la muerte a mí me hace gracia porque son todos, ¿no?
Son todos, sí. Yo tenía aquí un poco el recap histórico y como tú dices, ¿no? Es que prácticamente Tundra siempre la ha ganado en las series al mejor de 3,
Sí.
pero luego en esa fase de Riyadh, de Dream League Season 20, empates. Así que, bueno, con muchas ganas de ver el draft, de ver qué nos proponen, porque también tenemos un nuevo draft remodelado en esa 734 y empezamos con esos primeros bans por parte de Tundra, que, bueno, siguen estando muy fuerte el pango, pese a todo lo que le han venido nerfeando, ¿no?
Así
Sí,
es.
en este caso, bueno, pues ya cuando empezamos el draft y el tema de los bans y picks, en esta fase de grupos, como comentábamos, como es tan peculiar por el tema de la posibilidad de empate, pues entonces ya lo tienes que afrontar de otra manera, incluso a nivel táctico. Entonces, ahora mismo, al ser las primeras partidas de este TI, los equipos mayormente tienen 2 opciones, o bien banear puro meta o bien banear directamente lo que prefiere el equipo que tiene enfrente.
Respect ban, ¿no?
Exacto. Vemos que Tundra directamente pues tira por meta, Pango fuera, Spirit Breaker fuera. En cambio TSM ahí ya con ese Shadow Demon y ese Bristleback
Luego, los bans también de TSM a mí me parecen muy buenos. Ese Shadow Demon es que el bueno de Line está destrozando con él. Y creo que he visto también jugada de carry por Skitter, este Bristleback, pero incluso Thompson lo podría llegar a jugar. Así que
O
ahí
3-3,
vemos
¿eh?
algunas cositas que podrían venir bien.
O hasta 3-3, porque de offlaner el
También,
Bristleback es
también,
muy fuerte.
también,
La nueva
también.
build con la Bloodstone es impresionante. Bueno, sale el trend, clásico Support 5 y Air Spirit como respuesta. No sé si será para Thompson, ¿eh?
Lo
Sí.
ha jugado muy bien, ¿eh?
Lo
juega muy
sí.
bien.
Ujú.
puede ser. Desde luego el Dazzle ya está fuera de la ecuación, algo que comentábamos que podía caer, ¿no? Para este mid laner nuevo de Tundra. Ahí tenemos el Earth Spirit. De momento estamos viendo que los héroes que estaban fuertes en el 734C pues siguen siendo la primera opción para ambos equipos en este 734D. Imagino que conforme se vayan jugando muchas de las partidas que hay ya en estos 2 primeros días de competición, pues las estadísticas ya nos darán una lectura más fina sobre si estos héroes...
El meta del TI, ¿no?
Sí, si se les notan los nerfeos del 734D o realmente no tanto y siguen siendo las primeras opciones para lo que resta de torneo. De hecho, una peculiaridad, ¿no?, que es lo que siempre se comenta, el hecho de que el TI tiene su propio meta. El hecho de cómo está desarrollado el TI de este año puede que tengamos meta de fase de grupos, meta de playoff y meta de finales. Ojito, cuidado.
Eso pasa muchísimo, sí. Fuera Enigma. Lo veníamos también comentando con el tema de los Seilodones, que ahora, si no te los matan, son permanentes.
De hecho, yo creo que ahí son 2 bans completamente para cubrir al Tren Protector, porque suelen molestarle muchísimo, tanto el Fénix como el Enigma pueden destrozar grandes áreas de arbolada. Y luego, la diferencia, ¿no? Un support muy meta y luego un pick un poco versátil, porque, a ver, yo creo que lo puede jugar también perfectamente de support 4 o 9, pero es que en manos de Thompson, mira que es de los... digamos, ahora mismo, de los espíritus que mejor lleva, porque yo luego también juega el Body Spirit, pero no me gusta tanto, no sé por qué, quizás está un poquito más nerfeado, pero Thompson no le saca tanto partido como a este de Spirit, que le vi también sacarse, yo que sé, un Tarasca en minuto 30 o algo por el estilo, una de las partidas.
Ahí lo tenemos.
Es que lo estaba pensando porque, por un lado, yo creo que TSM se ha asegurado ese support, que creo que es bastante potente en la fase de líneas, luego tienes la capacidad de soporteo global, y luego, para penalizar esa movilidad, ¿no?, con la ultimate, y creo que el Grimstroke también iba un poquito por la misma línea y puedes bustear mucho con esa tercera para que hagan las iniciaciones el Earth Spirit. No sé si van a querer sacar una Venge, los chicos de TSM, porque también la han estado jugando
la juegan mucho.
Bastante.
De hecho, no la juega Tundra tanto. Tundra prácticamente no ha jugado esa Vengeful, y en cambio sí que han estado spameando mucho el Grimstroke, que con el propio Earth Speed combinan perfecto. Le pones ahí el Eastwood, salta encima.
Es un muy buen combo en realidad. Huele a que, bueno, una vez que se baneó el Dazzle, pues no parece haber una respuesta hacia medio contra este Earth Spirit, ¿no? Queda el Earth Shaker y eso, pero igual me parece que es una opción súper viable ahora sí desde medio. Grimstroke, un buen acompañante para las rotaciones, solo necesita el nivel 5, el nivel 6 y es suficiente. Y aparece el Laundry Task, una línea muy fuerte que se está poniendo muy de moda. El offlaner Laundry con el Task 4 tienen un combo brutal en línea, muchísimo daño. Es muy destructivo, así que ojo con ese Laundry.
Sí, se venía comentando de que los recientes buffos al Laundry permitiría a los jugadores especializados en este héroe poder que se le habilitase para jugar en este TI, y ya lo tenemos. Primera partida al toque mi rey.
Tú lo pedías para Tisi, ¿no? De hecho.
Sí, claro, ese tipo de jugadores lo podrían utilizar perfectamente. Y en este caso con el combo de Tus para la línea, muy fuerte también. Nos queda saber quién va a ser la pareja de baile de ese Trend Protector para TSM. No han querido arriesgar ahora, de hecho tienen esa famosa pick número 18 para escoger ahí si quieren utilizar algo. También por parte de Tundra, el hecho de que el Earth Spirit lo pueden flexear a 4 y tener igualmente buen combo y sinergia con Grimstroke si ven que es necesario otro tipo de respuesta para este Laundry Tusk.
Es que yo lo que veo ahora mismo que tienen cosas muy tanquis, ¿no? DSM, o sea, se ha cubierto muy bien de esas iniciaciones que puede hacer el Earth Spirit con el Grimstroke.
Yo creo que esto te deja claro ya que ese Earth Spirit va a ser para Thompson, y aquí tienes un combo también muy antiguo que recuerdo highlights de OG haciendo pues las dobles cadenas.
Y tú y yo lo hacíamos también.
Igual, alguien un poco menos famosos, tú y yo, hacíamos también ese combo, y la verdad es que pueden hacer un daño tremendo.
Oleadas también brutal,
Sí. Y luego el Warlock ahora mismo está fuertísimo. Le han nerfeado un poquito para el área del upheaval que no sea tan grande, y la ralentización es un poquito más lenta, y ahí viene también. Esto ya…
El pick insignia,
Pues sí, pues el que levantó la Aegis, Tanin.
Sí.
Así es, como veis, esta naga de momento, a ver, contra el Laundry.
Se siente como que Tundra quiere responder a las líneas, ¿no?
Sí.
O sea, estas líneas de por sí con estos 3 héroes de TSM son muy fuertes. El Trend Protector muy dominante de la fase de líneas, Taz con Laundry es un muy buen combo, y Naga Siren con Warlock pues intentan lidiar contra este Laundry offlaner posiblemente, ¿no? Me gusta la propuesta de Tundra, pero no sé, los héroes de ilusiones actualmente están un tanto condicionados. ¿Te gusta a ti, Kratos?
A ver, es que se supone que con los nerfeos APA, Sven y demás, pues hay un poco de cabida para estos héroes de ilusiones. Lo que pasa es que no sé si Tundra le está tirando el cebo a TSM con esta pick, a ver si muerde el anzuelo
para que salga
con la
un
pick
PL
18.
o algo así, ¿o qué? Para TSM.
A ver cuál es la respuesta, claro. A lo mejor quiere forzar esa pick.
A ver, yo lo que creo que están jugando también a darle el last pick a 33, ¿no? Si no me equivoco. equivoco, creo que es Tundra el que tiene
Sí.
esa respuesta, para que venga un cheesy pick. O sea, porque hemos estado mucho discutiendo estos días sobre el nuevo manera de draft
Sí.
y
Claro.
cómo el first pick ahora tenía como ciertos puntos muy importantes, como era ese pick 18, que es un poco complicado de counterear, y el last pick había perdido un poquito de importancia. Pero en jugadores, yo también creo que lo vamos a ver en Gaming Gladiators, los jugadores estos que tienen esos cheesy picks, como la Brumother, como, o sea, algún pick un poco extraño que digas, aquí entra y no tienen ninguna manera de responderme, puede pasar. Y eso es lo que creo que está jugando un poquito Tundra. A ver si, no sé qué cosa extraña puede
Es que-
salir para
que-
bueno
que-
tener.
Oh my god.
Sí.
¡No!
I like it.
Bueno.
Y puede ser el carry, ¿no? O sea,
Es
que
que es el
contra-
carry,
contra
es el
Naga
carry,
es
es
perfecto.
es el carry.
Es bueno contra
Es el
Naga,
carry.
sí.
Es que iba a decir, el problema que tenía TSM ahora mismo era que las mejores opciones de carry para neutralizar el Naga Siren era melee. Entonces te estás metiendo al fin y al cabo con 4 héroes cores melees. Es decir, que
Ya,
tienen
pero.
poca
¿sabes?
reacción.
Y un
Contra-
wombo combo muy bueno por parte de Tundra.
Claro,
contra los
es que
melees.
melees contra Warlock y Grimstrow,
Es que
bueno,
yo-
es que se lo
yo
estás
el-
dejando en
Está
bandeja al
muy
Wombo Combo.
difícil.
El
Sí.
problema que le veo aquí es que van a cerrar con un pick de 33, que bien puede ser un Beastmaster,
Un Doom, ¿no?
que lo puedes
Ahí está
parar
baneado,
muy
mira.
bien.
Justo baneado.
Ahí está.
O pueden piquear también un TIE Hunter, de hecho, ¿no? Que serían un poco las
Buah, más
opciones.
wombo combo.
Más wombo combo. Sí, sí,
cierto.
sí.
Pues lo veo, ¿eh?
El seteo pasa por la Naga Siren, ¿no? Es como que Canto de la Sirena, Chaotic Offering, Soulvine, tienes el doble Fatal Bones, hay mucho daño en área por parte de Tundra, muy buena teamfight, mientras que TSM parece demostrar simplemente la fase de líneas lo más potente posible y la teamfight no luce tan cómoda realmente con estos 4 héroes.
Oye, fijaros, uno de los cambios también, el Brewmaster, ¿eh? El Brewmaster tiene que elegir un ban de esos dos que
De
habéis
esos
dicho.
dos, sí.
Sí.
Yo creo que sí. Pero me da la impresión de que deberían de quitar más al Beastmaster porque te ejerce mucha presión de líneas, vas a tener también la Naga haciendo esa presión y luego tienes ese doble Primal Roar que puede ser bastante más molesto que quizá ese Ravage, ¿no? Que al fin pues tienes una BKB y puedes intentar
Ya, pero con el
evitarlo.
canto, si lo timeas todo muy
Ya,
bien.
eso sí es cierto, sí.
O sea,
Es que
quiero decirte-
igualmente los dos picks son muy
Sí,
buenos.
sí, sí. Entiendo que el ban aquí sería el Primal Beast y puede que te quede
Sí.
en respuesta, porque además que el TIE Hunter de 33 es demencial.
Pero es que los TIE Hunters ahora pusieron también mucho con el tema
Como
del
el
Meme
Meme
Hammer.
con el
Sí,
Metal Hammer, sí,
entonces-
sí. Pero bueno, vamos a pensar en el pick de Braille, ¿no? Es lo que nos faltaría por parte de TSM. También un midlane que se pueda enfrentar. A ver, sigue estando, lo que pasa es que es otro melee también, ¿no? El Primal Beast, que lo estamos viendo muchísimo también en esa zona. El Kunkka, que creo que es otro de esos picks que está siendo destructivo con el Agani.
Lina.
Bueno, y si quieres algo de rango para poder destrozar, pero bueno, es que tienes un Earth Speed, que es un
Pack.
midlaner. No sé,
Ok,
mira, el
Monkey
Monkey,
King.
porque podría haber sido otro de estos que se puede enfrentar muy bien a un Earth Speed medio.
Es verdad, sí.
A mí me gustaría ver el pack para TSM. Creo
Wow.
que sería muy importante el Drinkcoil cortar el movimiento de Earth Spirit en las teamfights. El silencio contra Warlock y Grimstrow clave también. Pack funciona muy bien contra Naga Siren con todas las habilidades de daño zonal.
Está
Creo
bien
que
también.
cubriría muy bien. Y no tienes nada para pararlo en seco. No tienes un stun directo, un silencio directo tampoco. Sería un enfrentamiento Earth Spirit contra Pack desde el principio hasta el final de la partida para neutralizarse el uno al otro. Creo que iría bastante bien. No
Braille
entorpecería.
no tenía también un buen Ember. Lo que pasa es que igual está un poco fuera, pero.
Está fuera, sí.
Sí, igual que
no es
contra
mala idea,
copias
¿eh?
está bien.
Sí, igual no es mala idea en realidad. Creo que te puedes colar fácilmente contra el Warlock,
¡Ojo!
contra el Grimstrow. Pero
Vale.
ok, otra respuesta contra copias que es bastante
Daño
útil,
bajo,
¿no?
sí, similar
Sí.
en ese aspecto.
Pues bueno, han preferido banear a TIE
Ay,
Hunter,
TIE
¿eh?
Hunter,
O sea,
puedes.
es que 33 da tanto miedo este hombre.
Sí, la teamfight habría sido brutal con
Es
TIE
que
Hunter. Era
demasiado.
demasiado
Claro,
seteo.
sí.
Muy
Mucho
difícil.
control.
Ujú.
Pues entonces nos queda el Beastmaster, ¿no? Como opción que pensamos para Tundra, que también tiene un combo absolutamente demencial. A ver, algo para romper.
Downbreaker
tor-
también, ¿eh? Podría
ok.
ser.
to fight. EG definitely don't have as many cooldown issues. I mean, I'm mostly just looking at Warlock, to be honest, but
Right.
outside of Golem, Fishman's going to feel a little bit useless, right?
I think so. But also, I think what you said bears a lot to think about, right? You've got this Void Spirit versus the Puck matchup, and who is going to be able to get more active early on. And then I might have realized what Gabby was laughing about. I feel like he's going to buy Ags this game, and then you're going to have Ags CK illusions of Watson from Gabby, and then Naga Siren illusions. It's going to be insane. Well, this game might go the distance, or it could be over in 20 minutes. Who's to say? But we do have a pause right at the start. I think we can get into it into a second. Do you have the same predictions that I do?
I do,
player?
but I have an unknown error when I try to put them in. Maybe because it's paused at frame 1.
Oh, probably. For me, I can do it.
Okay.
Player who places the most observe awards by 15 minutes. What are you feeling?
I would say probably Panda. Or
Panda?
Matthew,
Okay.
maybe.
Oh, yeah. Unknown error. There we go.
Aha.
Unfortunate.
They'll get that working later.
And they're already spamming Effie's voice line.
So I can
That's
actually
awesome.
remember discussing the C-Smile Invoker before.
Okay.
Because we were trying to figure out if he would start playing it. And I wonder if this is Whisper's reasoning. Because C-Smile has not played much Invoker. He has 20 pro games ever. And in the past 3 years, he has played, since 2020, he has 5 games on Invoker.
Whoa.
So, in fact, he had 0 in all of 2023 until 28 days ago.
Jeez.
It was actually, it was almost 2 full years he didn't play Invoker, actually. So,
This guy comes out, plays Slark mid. He's like, non-Voker. That's too much for me.
yeah.
Plays more Slark.
A few too many buttons. Yeah, he actually has, let me see here, 10 more games. Yeah, 12 more games on Slark than he does Invoker. So, yeah, that tells you something right there.
He likes to go in. He's a player that likes to battle it out. The game is still paused. Not sure exactly what's going on, but I think that they said something along the lines of care chat wheel. And there is one disconnect from CSNL. So we're just hanging out, Trent, you know?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get to be the last ones that get to go live, probably, which means everybody has to wait for us. That's the dream.
Yes, in the glory of our Naga Siren versus Terrorblade game. Woo!
There's a CK in there, all right?
Sorry,
We got
yeah.
more illusions.
We have more illusions, yeah.
So
That's like what was it? The major in Lima. I think we had was it Arc Warden and Tinker on the same team?
oh god, yeah,
That was gross.
That was Talon. Talon did that, I think.
Ugh.
It was disgusting. I think they had a Terrorblade support or something. So I guess one thing that I'm also curious about, do you remember the days of like Shadow Demon Luna?
Mm-hmm. Boston
I wonder
Major.
if we get that coming back of like just illusion sieging high ground, since high ground's so hard now.
Why would
as
you?
we get ready to hop into this game.
Don't bring that into existence here.
Well, we'll see if it can indeed happen as we're off to the races. Good luck, have fun. Comes the call from everybody. So they're heading out across the map.
Alrighty. So if you are a longtime EG fan or you're a new fan who wants to follow EG, the player who you probably want to watch, it's going to be Matthew, right? He's playing on the Dark Willow. He is their position 4 player. He's the support player who tends to make a lot of action happen early on in the game. And this guy's really good. He's got a pretty big hero pool. He's been spamming a lot of Bounty Hunter lately. Expecting to see that come out this TI. Maybe even some carry Bounty Hunters with that buff to the attack speed, or rather the base attack time. So we'll see about that. But he's going to be looking for level 6 on this Dark Willow. And then one of the cool things about Dark Willow recently has been this idea of putting the Bedlam on these more like in-your-face heroes. So in this game, he does have a Void Spirit, and who will also be being gifted the Frost Shield. So could allow him to really abuse that. But it tends to be with like a separate support, like maybe a Spirit Breaker or something like that, who can just really bully and get a lot of damage that way. But yeah, keep an eye on how he utilizes that Bedlam.
Right. For anybody that has missed that one, the Bedlam, now you can cast it on your allied heroes, throw it out there, and then it will follow them around instead. So a pretty big buff to Dark Willow coming in that other big patch that came out earlier this year. As it looks like neither team trying to pressure for too much is going to trade off the 2 bounty runes apiece. And I forgot to do my predictions because I'm a dummy, Trent.
I think they were just broken anyway. It's fine.
Fair. Okay. So we've talked a lot about it. Puck versus Void Spirit in the mid lane. This is a matchup that I think traditionally has been thought of as Void Spirit favored in the later stages. You just drop that unit down to catch them.
Yeah, that was a fun while that we had, huh? There was quite a debate, really, amongst even the pro players. It reminds me of the old discussions about Ember versus TA for a while. Some players said it was even, some players said it went one way, some players said it went the other. And there never really was much of a consensus on that one. And we had a very similar situation happen back in the Arlington Major with Void Spirit and Puck. It was the idea of like, well, Puck can catch Void Spirit with coil, so it must be better. And then the Void Spirit players would just say like, well, I mean, I can just use the Puck and then use that Aether Remnant and Puck dies. In the end, I think Puck kept losing, if I recall.
Okay. Important. I mean, yeah, you're kind of a notorious puck hater right now anyways. Man, Fishman is just giving Matthew... Matthew might be dead as he wraps around the corner. First blood. He just got walked down and right-clicked by a Warlock.
That's just a lack of respect, straight up.
Wow.
Not expecting so much damage, yeah.
He didn't even take Shadow Word.
No, he just clicked him down. A little unexpected. Matthew just figuring, like, I can't really go for the turn. I don't have any sort of a play with my Shadow Realm because I'm still level 1.
Panda looks for the turnaround, and now, after meta is popped, the slowdown on Katomi, he's going to go down too, showing the power of that Frost.
Man, I think if Panda has good positioning in this lane, it's just going to be so hard for Entity. It's really difficult as a ranged hero. We mentioned that the second Lich was picked and the Venge was there. It was this idea of trying to trade versus Lich as a ranged 4, especially. Like, it's annoying enough as a melee hero because it's hard to get in on him. But at least when you get in on him, it feels like you can lock him down. The ranged heroes just struggle to get in like the whole time. And I'm saying all this because it's getting work. That high armor is not enough.
And Whisper down bottom also dropping low, getting killed off by these illusions, does manage to get away. It takes one last hit from those little golem-y dealies coming from the Warlock, imps rather. So yeah, a very high impact game early. And you know, looking back again at what Matthew was doing there, it was all to block out that small camp 2 times in a row. So they haven't been able to get the lane back into good position down bottom. So even though it came at a death, it's still getting them something down their bottom.
Yeah, and even though we are seeing the support invoker these days, it doesn't mean he's not like the greediest hero. Like this hero lives and dies by levels still, especially when you're trying to run it in a core role here. So he's gonna go for a almost like this Tidehunter strategy. One of the only heroes that buys Meteor Hammer still and feels really good about it in the off lane to try and pressure the tower. The old Thompson Invoker Meteor Hammer will be making a return via Whisper right now.
Well, Thompson's back. Got to bring the old strats back.
Yeah, inspired here.
Went up. So, in the early goings, C-Smile off to a slight lead mid. The big differential right now, at least, it feels like it's Invoker who's like a little bit behind. And Terrorblade's having like a decent game in spite of that death. I guess the biggest thing to me is that it feels like Whisper is not being completely shut out. You know, he's getting some amount of farm, he's getting some levels, being able to get away with this risky Invoker. No.
I'm really... Ooh, speaking of which, Brambles in the mid lane down in the Storm for a bit of harass. It's kind of nice. I'm curious what sort of pressure Whisper will be able to apply to Watson and the lane of this Naga Siren, though. Because, like, you know, this is a Naga Siren. They like to go to the jungle at some point, but if they can stay completely, farm it up and a couple camps nearby and try and, like, slow down an enemy like an Invoker who's rather greedy, we might see Watson sticking around a little bit longer than usual, since it is a position 5 Warlock who has a bit of a harder time like holding the lane without dying. Nice grab mid.
Ooh. Good damage there, forcing back Stormstormer. Still in some trouble, bottling up Smile. Can't quite get there in time. Do need to be careful up top. Panda did use Frost Shield, but no, he's actually going to be fine, it looks like. I thought maybe there was going to be a window where they could get aggressive on Pakaz, but has Frost Shield back up again and they can't punish.
TP out there from Whispers. He got really low. He went back to his tower since he does have the Ring of Health. Gonna go immediately into a Ghost Walk off a Mango to regen back up.
It's kind of crazy how well this is actually working. Like, he's having really good sustain in this lane with just the Ring of Health going and then being able to Ghost Walk to top himself off.
Well, likewise, though, for Gabby, also having a fine time on this CK. Like, this is the main concern of this hero right now, and why you can see it both in the carry role and the off lane is this buffed up Chaos Strike. We went from a multiplier, I think it used to be 1.4, then it was 1.6, and now it's 1.9, which just means you are smacking the creeps, you're doing damage, and you're getting a ton of life steal. And look at that! He crits for 300, and you just see his bar shoot up. It's like, how do you bully this hero out of lane?
And I'm wondering, does he get extra lifesteal also against the TB illusion? I'm assuming you do.
No, it's only lifesteal from the creeps.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Well, regardless,
the bonus, that is, yeah.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to watch how this next couple of minutes goes. Naga Siren already treads done, has not been pressured basically at all in this lane. Whisper is still working his way towards this Void Stone and trying to finish off the Meteor Hammer, but it's not easy going by any stretch of the imagination. Coming up on that 7-minute mark, need to watch for the Wisdom Runes, see who's able to pick those up.
Yeah, one thing that, I was scoping out Mr. Thompson here, seeing, coming in. He plays a lot of pubs, so he's a very easy person to keep an eye on. And one thing I noticed he was doing a ton of was invading for the level 7 Wisdom Rune as the mid. It was kind of wild. Not seeing that right now from either of the mids, though. And Fishman, though, yeah, he's in trouble.
That will be...
wait, Roche!
Oh, he got him still. Well played. Kaz able to get that kill. And then, in the same time, they're going to be able to get the rune for Matthew. It looks like Katomi's going to run on over to pick the other one up. So it should be 2 Wisdom Runes apiece.
Yeah, we're all good here.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Gabby closing on that level 6 as well. I don't know if he'll be able to do much just with the 6 or if he'll really have to wait for the armlet. I feel like that's when you might actually get an opportunity here, at least versus the TB. Although meta's going to be down, so I'm sure they're going to try and apply some pressure anyway. The other pressure typically comes from the mid lane. Will be from a Puck, obviously a hero who really likes to rotate. But Puck enjoys rotating when it's the heroes diving under an ally tower. Makes it a lot easier to land these early game Dream Coils. And that's not really something you're expecting EG to do.
No, it's true. I mean, I think that there's some potential for like pressure with the Meteor Hammer that'll get close to the tower once that comes out, but it doesn't feel super likely for them to be diving. Unless it's C Smile that does it when he makes a rotation, which he definitely could. 8-minute mark coming up as they're looking for the runes. Looks like Entity will hold the top side, and do they get lucky over here? Looks like they're gonna find an Arcane for Puck. Fishman in trouble. And starting to drop low. It's not going to be enough for the kill. Can't get him.
Yeah, other spells on cooldown too. Not worth trying to commit there from Stormstormer, even with the Arcane Rune. Might have been a little bit too far as well, I guess, for the Coiler. He actually gets Panda with that Fatal Bonds. Painful. When you catch a bunch of creeps like that, they're going to instantly smoke. Well, who are they going to hunt for? Pakaz is really low.
Yeah.
Oh, this would be a great find off the smoke.
But look at him, already there. Panda breaking the movement over. So he will die, but I mean, that'll keep Pakaz alive.
That's very worth it here. As Whisper is forced all the way back to his tower, but he has his Meteor Hammer now. So currently that bottom tower, almost full HP. Curious to see if Whisper can actually pressure with that.
See Smile will run right into Watson here. And
thank you.
Okay. Let me get the bounty rune, run away.
Oh, look at this stack too. That is hilarious.
Interesting. Okay.
So there has been a loss here, folks. With the Sven dying and Gyrocopter getting nerfed, we're kind of out of the stack meta a little bit. Like there's less TAs right now. Luna might pop up this TI. But the issue essentially was that these stacks were really providing a ton of XP for the supports, especially the position 4s. Because if you don't have stacks being taken by one of your carries and you can't like get the bonus XP or leech off it, you're stuck at level 5 at like 12 minutes in a lot of games. Right. It can be very tough, whereas you want to get the 6 as fast as possible. So that's a great way to do that. Unfortunately, it was also split with the Void Spirit, so Matthew didn't end up gaining all too much there.
Right. Panda's actually been able to get all the way up to level 6 for himself, which is surprising. So has Chain Thrust online, something that actually does have some kill potential when you're playing against the CK. If things aren't going exactly right, create one illusion next to yourself, you could be regretting it. But at least for now, Entity, they're off to a good start. 3,000 gold lead. They have a relatively greedy draft. It doesn't feel like there's a ton of pressure for them to get things done as they've already taken that top tier 1 tower.
Yeah, and again, this Meteor Hammer, it's not working the way that you kind of hope it to when you buy Meteor Hammer in the off lane. Like, it's cool that they got the stacks off of it, and I'm sure he's going to do some setup plays a little bit later with Tornado and everything, but, you know, you're not getting that actual pressure onto the tower right now, so it's kind of chill for Entity at the moment to have a 2K lead and also no pressure on their towers at all.
Yeah. No, this is exactly what Entity want at this early game at the very least. And, you know, it's worth repeating that I think with a greedy hero like an Invoker, this can be good, but he's not going to be scaling in the same way. Not going for this Midas early, has the Spirit Vessel queued up. It feels like he's hoping to maybe be a little bit more active in the next couple of minutes here. And we'll see if it ends up happening. Stormstormer makes the TP rotation over. I think C-Smile's smoke broke on him, and now is just going to back away.
Yeah, this was... Oh, he missed the coil. He wanted to kill so bad down here. Because he showed mid and then, like, kind of hid and immediately TP'd. He really wanted them to try and get a bit aggressive down bottom, maybe predicting that they wanted to make a play, seeing that C-Smile was in the area, but not able to catch.
Had to burn the haste rune, too.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Well, like we said, big chillin'. Farm, farm, farm. See if there's any way to punish it. For now, at least, there isn't. You know, maybe you could have done something here onto C-Smile with like a coil and a swap play, but definitely not going to happen without the coil. And C-Smile again gets unlucky. The rune is going to spawn bottom. At least Panda that time is able to sneak it away from the puck.
Yeah, it's good that you mentioned that. We haven't brought that up yet, but it is a classic combo. Venge is just picked all the time now, but one of the times you might actually see the hero in more recent times was in combination with the puck. Trying to abuse that snap on the coil is you really get the most out of the spell if you manage to force it. You get, especially at level 1, because you're getting this bonus 200 damage, which is more damage than the spell does itself by a pretty significant margin, and your HP pools are very low at the start of the game, so it can really add up early, but not able to link it on that first coil, but it's already back up because it's just 75 seconds, so perhaps we'll see another smoke here in a moment.
Again, content with the game as it currently stands. And I know who's having the most fun in this game, 100%. I guarantee it's Gabby, because he is just like, he was a Chaos Knight, he was in his lane, he farmed, like he's an off-lane player. But he used, you know, he's done the other core roles, he's been there, he remembers what it was like to just get free farm all the time. He's just free farming. Yeah. And he's just going to hit really hard and have a great time and have an armlet and a BKB pretty soon. Oh, and this is interesting, though. If they can hit before that timing comes out, this is a big smoke rotation. They're going to find Fishman. Will be able to connect onto him, and he's just going to accept his fate here. Afterwards, Gabby pops ulti, goes into Shadow Realm, walks away for the Dark Willow, and everybody from EG just backs out.
All right, nice aggression. Certainly needed here is, again, still no real pressure on the map coming in from them at the moment.
Watson has Manta already done. Kaz is getting close to having his completed. Whisper will pick up the regen rune. Tornado, Stormstormer able to get out of there just in time. The orb was coming to an end. So manages to escape.
Kind of scary with level 1 phase shift. You can definitely get caught in some of these early game situations. Not able to get a lot of aggression going here, though. I mean, still nursing that 2k lead. It's not really growing all too much. Some slight pressure is happening. Wisdom runes have been picked up by the Dire, and no one's going to steal one here. Gabby just goes back and grabs it himself. And I believe his Echo Saber's done, too. Yep, man, he's farming fast. He's catching up to his Nagasar, and he's out-farming the TV right now. That's a bad sign.
I feel like the way this game is going, at some point, Entity are going to smoke together, find a fight with Warlock ulti, and then they're just going to get Roche. And I feel like it's down to EG to try and force something like more small scale before then, whether it's like pushing a lane down with TB illusions or... Oh, they're about to find a stack here, too.
Oh,
that's pretty
dragons.
It's pretty good.
And then they block it off after, too, with the sentry in behind. That's just rude.
Good econ game coming out right here from Entity.
There's also...
Go on in. I can be able to get Gabby here.
They're passing the obs over to Stormstormer, too. He had an obs and a sentry there, too, to help him just plant them a little bit deeper. And he passes them back at... Or actually, no, he's just keeping a sentry in his backpack here, too. Probably to ensure that he can grab the Invoker. I mean, he's got his dust as well, but get some backup.
TB just saw that the stack was taken. He's going to push out mid now. And we'll see if he ends up getting caught here. Again, they could drop a lot onto him.
Yeah, he's pinged for it. He actually wants his team to rotate and try and take this tower with him.
Fishman hiding out.
Whisper's just trying to find him.
Radiant have
Dude, he's
scanned.
Where is he? He actually never got vision because of the angle of that tree.
That's crazy. Good positioning. Good positioning by the fish man. Watson?
Yeah, that's a toughie.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Not gonna be able to get him. But like I said, this one might go the distance here. There's a decent chance.
I mean, late, I feel like I'm favoring Radiant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think just like this CK and Naga Siren in combination, it just doesn't feel like they're going to have the AoE to deal with it, right? Like one of the reasons that Terrorblade, or one of the things rather that can make him upset and tends to be these other illusion carries. He's a single target damage dealer for the most part. He hates fighting PL. He's not really a fan of Naga Siren.
That's true. Now, that said, did you see the recent Reddit post of the Lich Ags with Refresher Infinite bounces? Can you imagine?
I do know that the Ags is popping off right now, including in the pubs with everyone picking up Lich. It's very common to see like maybe Drums, maybe Glimmer, maybe Force, and then straight Ags Rush on these Lich players too. You want to get this AoE Sinister Gaze you can see there. It's very frustrating.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Looks like EG trying to make a move.
Is under attack.
All right, here you go.
And already away, Entity playing this map kind of perfectly. They will get the D ward here by Katomi. Jump one time from C-Smile, jump a second time, finds him. Stun goes out.
And Gabby is 0-0-1 and just hitting creeps.
Yeah.
I told you, he's having the most fun. I guarantee it. He's just loving this game right now. Oh, like he just crit that Ancient for 1,000.
Yeah, he's huge.
Why is it 1.9? That's so much. It's like when Drow used to one-shot creeps with their ulti.
Yeah. Oh, Kaz is gonna find Gabby. Just fight him off.
Eat him.
He was thinking about it. He did force back the CK there. Meanwhile, the chase going on. Song of the Siren is out. They will throw the coil just to ensure that Watson gets away. So nicely done there. They get out of trouble, and then instead they're going to start heading up top where they want to find Gabby.
This is a great play. They want to use that meta.
And they get him. Trying to do what damage they can. The sun is there. A lot of damage. Bakazi goes down. They managed to get the finish. BKB used. And now the turn. Finding more. A perfect combination coming out from Entity. And guess what? Roche for the taken.
Yeah, the thing is they're desperate. They have to find a play there. So I understand why they go in. They say, hey, I used meta. There's a lot of heroes up here. We can maybe turn this around. But the worst things happen. The BKB from Gabby pops just before the tornado hits. Watson rotates in with the Orchid and catches the Invoker, and that's it. You are just done at that point. There's no way you salvage that. No Terrorize in time to back it up. And well, Matthew knows a few things about playing position 4. And he knows when the game is at its worst, there is one particular position 4 hero that can salvage things. That is Dark Willow. And she does this. She goes Midas and she goes Aghanim's. So I'm going to need some drums on this Lich next. And we're going to try and buff up this Willow. See if she can salvage this one.
They're going to need something. That's for sure. Because this is looking pretty rough right here. Haste Rune for the getting. Has to jaunt away. So 9k gold lead at this point. They're going to need to sort of play catch up here for a while, it feels like, on the side of EG. But who knows? Maybe some solid fights. You take out the Warlock at the start of the engagement. Things could turn around for him.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. It feels like it's got to be C-Smile finding some crazy plays off of a BKB. But until he has that BKB, these look like some pretty hazardous fights to go into. And then even after the BKB, there's a few things to play around here.
They don't want to go on Gabby, but they will find the rest of them as they head out to the side and immediately catching Whisper in trouble. Silence, Golem, everything dropped on his head. Tornado, he just walks away from it. Does have the greater healing Lotus trying to survive through, but will eventually be brought down. Lich also perished in the meantime. More death.
No, all I can do is really try and push out bottomless Pakaz here. He's at least gaining something off of his allies' death, but there's definitely way more going the way of Entity here as they move into this middle tower. With the help of the Golem to knock it down, and Gabby just soloing the top lane, because who is going to fight CK with an Aegis and an Orb of Destruction? Not me. I'm not going near this guy right now. I think he's scarier than the Nagasire. He's the carry.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about this game going 90 minutes, but if they keep playing at this pace, I mean, Entity could just think about, you know, shutting down everything. They could go high ground if they wanted to, you know, if they want to throw. Ace?
All right,
Chase?
desperation. Here we go.
Need to find it. 3-second stun. Orchid. Okay, C-Smile didn't get to play Dota. Meteor Hammer lands, and, well, Whisper is just going to be brought down afterwards. There is no escape from the Gabby. And Panda! Oh, he's stuck by the creeps! No! Poor Panda. Nowhere left to go.
I barely saw Gabby's health moving there during the Bedlam. Then like, oh right, he's level 10. Like it's level 1. Bedlam in there. The CK just has so much HP. He's just playing with an Aegis anyway, so he has no carrots. Oh, and he's back up to almost full HP because he went and hit a creep camp. So that's cool. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, that's devastating. This hero is maybe a little bit too insane. He's going to get the freaking wisdom resist. He's pushing high ground. Oh no, he wants the Tormentor. Give it to him. Look at the heal.
Wow.
That okay.
Oh,
nailed it. Okay. That just happened. This game is looking very rough for EG. Entity in perfect position.
Yeah, most certainly are. The real question is, who's going to have the higher net worth? Will it be Watson or will it be Gabby?
It's a good question.
Depends how close or how soon they go high ground. If it's soon, Gabby has a chance. If it's in 5 minutes, I think that Nagasiren's off to the race at this point. The heart is delivered. These illusions are undying. You just go down the lanes, sweep it all up.
Yeah, they are in complete control of this one right now. I mean, Aghanims, they have one component of it for Willow. Does have the Midas and the Philosopher's Stone, so the double-double for the position 4.
Panda's got the drums up, as needed.
Minute left on Aegis. C-Smile walks high ground, sees Katomi, will get stunned. Meteor Hammer combination. The swap away, and then getting the kill onto Whisper. Watson finds Panda. He's done for, but they did get Katomi.
On the minute left on the Aegis, Gabby, he's just going to go throw it away on the Tormentor, I think.
Love it.
Yeah, he'll wait. Okay, maybe he'll let his allies help him.
I know, he's got another one. Stormstormer now with a shard. The gold lead continues to expand.
Here's our replay here as well. You see Katomi, this swap in to allow the double follow-up. That was nice. Made it really easy for the second stun. Get the swap in. That brings Evoker close. Then he gets pulled in from the Reality Rift by the Chaos Knight. They get golems. Easy.
And that was the first, BKB charge used for C-Smile. Not able to get a ton out of that, obviously. Rather unfortunate. But yeah, still looking to claim a second tower for EG. They're spamming out the illusions at mid. They did get some damage onto it, but yeah, pretty rough. Yeah. Another one.
That's a Bloodthorn.
Yeah. Song of the Siren. EMP. Oh, is it enough to kill him? Fishman, he dies while they're sung. It is going to be a route now onto the Invoker. Whisper tries to get away with the 3-second stun. It's just too much.
It's okay. Matthew the carry's living right now.
True.
Just needs to find something to Midas. Luckily, there's no panic anymore.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
How do I farm this? I love how he has the Hyperstones for the Moonshard queued up. Yeah.
Stun, Orchid, Manta, and then the follow-up Silence. He has not been able to sunder this entire game.
Radiant's top tower has
that hurts.
Oh, Matthew is doing his normal thing of hunting couriers, but he will be the hunted here. Kataomi
does manage to TP away. Nicely done there. But yeah, this is the slow, steady death that we've become accustomed to a little bit. When Gabby can just farm out the enemy ancients with a Bloodthorn. It's tough to be here in this game for EG.
Yeah, the disassembly too. And then he's going to build it back into the Echo Saber again here after he gets his Mage Slayer, Bloodthorn. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to have to agree with that one there, Dota Plus. That might be a little generous to EG, honestly. I mean, there is a butterfly on this Terrorblade, so perhaps he could be the luckiest person in the world.
Right.
As long as he doesn't get Bloodthorned.
That's a good point. Yeah, that would be a problem, wouldn't it? Yeah, I don't know. It feels like it would require a tremendous screw up from Entity at this point. I think it's worth talking about again. Entity, a team that had some good success there early on in the year, then struggled a lot, as we're going to see Panda get brought down again. But really, I think with Gabby in tow, it's looked like an entirely different team. And one of the, I think, instances where, a swap in players ended up better for both the player that, left the team and also the team itself.
Yeah. Sometimes you just got to mix it up a little bit there. Find the right combination of ingredients. Instead of a chicken pesto pasta, you got a pork pesto pasta,
Wait, what? Pork pesto pasta?
I was out of chicken. So that's what my kids are eating for supper tonight. I had to make it last night because I won't be there when they're eating.
Poor children. All right, we're going to see the poor person as Matthew gets brought down. They're going to go up high ground. They've had enough of it, as they're ready to take down this tier 3 tower. So you smell, ooh, good dodge. Silence gets away. Well done, well done. Now the Chain Frost, but immediately turns around. Whisper able to get some separation. All the illusions going down. This is about the most you could hope for at this stage. Unfortunately, it's still not enough. My goodness.
I wouldn't even be leaving right now.
Yeah.
There's not really, until Terrorblade at least comes home, I'm not going anywhere if I'm on Enemy. And I don't even think I'm leaving then.
Cause time for the base race.
Yeah, that's right.
No, I hear you. He's trying to cut waves. Matthew's trying to take down this one. He's, 300 gold away from an Aghanim Scepter? I mean, realistically, they actually are backing out, and I think you're pretty happy about that if you're EG. Got a tier 2 tower, got the tier 1 mid. You only lost 1 Rax?
All right, well, he's got the Paladin Sword, so that's kind of hype.
You got Whisper Alacrity on him? With maxed out Wex?
The problem is that the Midas you need because of the levels too, right?
Yeah.
Like, you got to get to 20 for the Shadow Realm duration.
That's true. But he has the Midas.
Yeah, that's the plan. All right, let's go. Matthew, can you imagine if they somehow managed to turn this game around based off of some juiced up Dark Willow with drums and Alacrity?
I mean, I've seen crazier things before. Drums, Alacrity, Dark Willow, and then you also have like the heroes that can kind of go in. Terrorblade now has the BKB. If nothing else, this fight is going to look different than all the other ones previously. It might not be into EG's favor, but it's at least going to look different.
They went through the Twin Gate and then they just smoked from Entity as well.
Radiant's courier has been
I wonder if EG decide to go through. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, it's happening. No, they're not going through. All right, that was wise. That would have been crazy.
Is anyone gonna dare? No. Okay. All right, easy Aegis, easy cheese. They will give the Aegis over to Watson this time. Who got the cheese? Stormstormer did. All right. Gabby's decided that he's unkillable. He's probably correct as he builds in towards his harpoon next.
Oz manages to kill off a courier and gets an illusion rune for himself. Important stuff. Still
the wisdom rune.
4,000. Gabby will get that. It's unfortunate for EG.
Maybe Matthew will go and take theirs after seeing his own. Like seeing them down in that area, if you noticed. Not sure if they made vision. Don't think they do.
No. Oh, jump in. Frost Shield, keeping C Smile alive. He just doesn't get to play Dota, man. It doesn't happen. Chain Frost is out. Whisper BKB runs away. Matthew goes in to the Shadow Realm and, well,
Wow.
hit because of the butterfly. So, yeah, no. And Whisper just explodes. They're going to find another. Entity are going to take this one down, it looks like, as this is close to the end of the game unless some crazy play happens. I mean, Pakaz is trying to split push. GG's called, though. Unbelievable. Just devastation. Entity, clean game.
Yeah, total destruction here. EG, they did not hit any of the marks that they would have needed for this game to succeed, really, right? Like, I mean, this is an offlane invoker who starts with a Meteor Hammer, so you either need to pressure the tower with the Meteor Hammer or you need, like, a crazy amount of stacks or something to make this worth it, which you didn't really get either. And then the other play would be like, okay, use the Meteor Hammer to...
They probably don't have to feel too stressed. Obviously, you don't want to lose your barracks and you want to stay relevant and farm, but you got some nice late game stuff on the side of 9 Pandas as well. The Juggernaut, with a lot of items, can be great for bursting down the Brewmaster, kills off the TB pretty fast as well with the control of Kunkka. Yeah, I talked about that earlier, how Kunkka can be a nightmare to play TB into. We haven't